Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of the Elden Ring full walkthrough. I'm your host, the Mad Pumpkin, and we're gonna start out just by briefly going over what we did last time and what we're gonna go over today. So last time we made our way into the Weeping Peninsula. We cleared up this right cliffside area right here, and for today we're actually gonna venture this way down here. So let's just go ahead. So for the time being, to save ourselves some running, I'm just gonna teleport to Castle Morne Rampart. We're gonna start off from there. Hopefully today's episode is gonna be a bit more smoother than the last one. The imps got the best of me. Hopefully we're not gonna be suffering the same fate this episode. So first things first, I'm actually gonna switch to the heavy greatsword, since this is a strength character. So like I said in the last episode, this is going to be the last episode that we do on this borrowed character, and after that we are going to return to Arterium. So for the time being, let's go ahead and start exploring. Let's see if there's some goodies here. Nope. Okay, nice. So just venture topside. I always make sure to check this broken wall area right here. I'm always paranoid like that. Like this looks like an item spot. Definitely like some place an item would be, but no such luck today, it would appear. So we're gonna venture up, and when you reach the shack, be careful. We're gonna have our first new item here, which is gonna be the yellow ember. We're gonna take a look at that in just a second. If you can hear the familiar squealing of rats, got rats coming. And if you notice, these rats are a bit different than the others. These rats have their eyes glowing yellow, right? So that is going to be a trademark of a status effect, the one you can see building up on the character as well. This is called madness. Right? So if you played Bloodborne, it's a similar effect to Frenzy in Bloodborne. So once it builds up on you, you're gonna lose a big chunk of a big robo fruit stack. You're gonna lose a big chunk of health and a big chunk of mana, your FP. So generally just a nasty thing to have on you. So I would recommend caution. So let's take a look real quick before we continue with at the new item we picked up. So it is a crafting material, yellow ember. An ember taken from the eye socket of a corpse. Material used for crafting items. A sign that the deceased suffered from the flame of frenzy. This grape has ripened and burst. So for some reason they're referring to this to these frenzied eyes as grapes. You're gonna see another instance of that relatively soon, I believe. And I have no idea why. I mean, probably the shape is definitely resembling a grape. The eye socket shape is resembling a grape, but I'm not sure. They keep insisting on that naming convention. Never figured out why. So once you venture into these woods, I would definitely recommend caution and even dismounting if you feel more comfortable reacting at a moment's notice on foot, because there's going to be a lot of rats here in the bushes. You're not going to be able to see all of them, but you're going to see some of them. Some of them are going to jump at you, so I would definitely recommend approaching this with a stance that is most suitable for your reaction time. And we picked up the Eye of Yellow, another crafting material. A shrub fruit bursting with ripened pulp. Material used for crafting items. Grown in lands afflicted by frenzy, it's used for its pain-relieving properties, though it's also known to be a dangerous intoxicant. So this item is used to create clarifying boluses, I believe they're called. So that's anti-frenzy buildup items. So if you have frenzy buildup and you want to get rid of it, oh, another one. you use these items to create clarifying boluses. So yeah, like you can hear, there's rats squealing all over the place. So just be prepared, because they are gonna come at you from all the bushes at a moment's notice. And we do have a yellow ember, and we do have a new enemy type. I just killed him right now, but we're gonna have a closer look at them. Like for example, that one right there. You're gonna notice their eyes are glowing as well. Oh my god. So that attack is super scary. That is the... I think it's called just the Flame of Frenzy. So it goes through the shield. It's a magic attack, and it goes through the shield. I believe it does fire damage, if I recall correctly. So be careful, and it also, as you can see, builds up madness, so be very careful. Like, madness is nothing to toy with here. For real. Madness is such a nasty effect. Like, Frenzy in Bloodborne made me cry so many times. It's gonna do a similar thing for you here. Like, in Bloodborne, it was a bit rougher, because in Bloodborne, it would just eat 90% or 95% of your health in a second, like in an instant. Here, it's like 70%, but the thing is that this also drains your mana as well, so if you're relying on spell casting, incantation casting, or even using Ashes of War, or Ashes in general, you might find yourself in an uncomfortable spot. So now that we have actually cleared this little front woody area before, we reached the Ailing Village, where these villagers are going to be residing. So they're super easy to kill. The guy, there we go. So dodge this, definitely. Quite a big cone there. So all of these enemies, I mean, there were once people, I suppose. They're all afflicted with the Flame of Frenzy, and you can see by their demeanor, like, they are in a state of delirium, madness, right? They're consumed by the madness, right? So that's kind of a theme here. Like, why this village in particular is afflicted by madness, I do not know quite yet. We might discover that if we follow the lore in the future of the walkthrough. But this place in particular, it's very, if you noticed, it's very random, right? It's in the middle of Limgrave, like Weeping Peninsula. Nothing else in this, nothing else in entire Limgrave has anything to do with madness, except this part right here. So it is kind of weird. I would like to figure out what happened here in specific. So for this area right here, for this village, what I usually like to do is I like to just do these houses first and the surrounding areas first before venturing into that church you saw me look into earlier, just so I can have everything else cleared and having the church last. So right now I did mount up, actually, because the area is a bit more clear right now, so I will be able to see and react for... oh wow, a nimble rat. So I will be able to see and react to rats when I see them. And I think beyond the shield that we picked up, there's no more items in this village. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clear out the outskirts. There's a grace right here. You would be wise to pick it up as well. Just in case if something happens and you die, you can spawn at a much closer point and save some time from traveling. And we're gonna continue exploring. So these outskirts, this part here, okay, that's done. So let's continue. We get our golden rune. Tier 1, like tier 1 does not give a lot of runes at all, it's like 200 runes, but as long as you keep picking them up, like, you can build up a decent bank account with tier 1s. And here we got some random Misbegottens as well. Oh my god. Let me just do this. I'm just gonna dismount before they dismount me. So for these guys, they're different than the ones we encountered in front of the ramparts. They're flying, and they're preferring ranged battle. And the way to deal with them is one hit. Any type of hit is gonna knock them to the ground. Usually you have to jump and attack. So you can jump and do a heavy attack, you can jump and do a normal attack. I thought I could reach that guy. So they will lunge at you from time to time. But they're gonna generally prefer the ranged battle. But yeah, this was just a regular R1 attack and I dropped them down. Okay. They're also pretty random here. I mean, they're not as random as the frenzied enemy because these could be just the escaped servants from Castle Morne, which you can see in a second, right there in the distance behind those towers. That thing on high up into the sky. So, I mean, they're not as random like as the frenzied enemies are. So, I guess we could kind of chalk it up to not a coincidence, but like having them running away into the wilderness. And once you finish the circle, you're gonna end up at the woods where we started, where a bunch of rats were. So with that in mind, it would appear that... Oops, life yellow. I think I pulled... Okay, I did. Nice. So once we've done a full circle, we're gonna be in front of the church there. And here you're gonna see a lot of rats happening. Right? So do the same thing as usual when you have a lot of enemies in a calm space. Get a throwing item, pull them one at a time. Just play it safe. And at least try to actually hit the rat. My god. So you're gonna see a big rat there as well. So this is another reason why we're dealing with these rats like this. Because dealing with a bunch of small rats and the big rat on top of that is never fun. Okay, see, okay, we pulled... Oh, we pulled all of them. I guess the combat pulled them. That's okay. As long as the big rat stays chilling there, we should be more than fine. Oh no. Okay, 6 step back. Fighting them in a narrow corner like this can be tricky, depending on the weapon type you use and the type of attack that it does. So this sweep, like we are super lucky here, this sweep could have clapped the walls and interrupt our attacks. Okay, so for this part, I would definitely recommend fire pots. Fire pots, since these are classified as beasts, they do not like fire. So fire pots are super good. And I'm actually, since we are using this character, I'm actually going to show you the incantation as well. So we are gonna do... Okay, let's do like this. Let's throw a flame sling. Oh my god, can I hit? Like, look at this. Look at the damage the fire does. Look at this. Like, this is busted. And the fire pots actually scale with both strength and arcane. So the fire pots are even stronger on this character. But yeah, having a incantation build, super fun. And we get the Flame of Frenzy and the Sacred Tear. Okay, let's take a look at both of them. Let's see. Okay, Sacred Tear is first in the list. Let's take a look. Blessing of the Earth Tree, worshipped in the churches of all lands. This is but a faint vestige. Increases the potency of sacred flasks' restorative effects. During the age of the Earth Tree, these tears were used to spread the faith, for theirs was once a certain blessing. So, this, similar like the Gold Seed is going to give you an extra flask, and the Sacred Tear is going to give you stronger flasks, so it's going to heal your mana and your health for a bigger chunk. And let's go ahead and take a look at the incantation. We picked up the Flame of Frenzy. Incantation originating from the maddening three fingers. Causes the yellow flame of frenzy to burst forth from the caster's eyes. Charging increases the range of the burst. The Flame of Frenzy deals damage and causes buildup of madness. This incantation also causes buildup of madness in the caster and is only effective against Tarnished. So, the fire attack that you saw, the Frenzy guy's doing on me, that's the Flame of Frenzy. And the interesting thing is, like the description said, you are actually gonna get you're actually gonna get a frenzy buildup of your own. It is not in the same. It's not in the same amount as the buildup of frenzy you would do on your target, but if you relentlessly use any frenzy abilities, I think all of them at this point are gonna be building up madness on you. If you relentlessly and carelessly use them, you are gonna build up madness on yourself. And you can proc madness on yourself. And it says that it's especially effective against Tarnished, which would kind of make sense when you think about it, because madness is a psychological effect, something that affects the human mind, the human conscious mind, thinking mind, and all that part. And you see a lot of beasts here, a lot of undead enemies, a lot of different types of enemies, right? And they all are not on the same level of consciousness as you would guess, especially from like beasts, like humans, like Tarnished in this case. So that's why the Flame of Frenzy is like the damage is still going to be done to all enemy targets, right? But the frenzy effect is only going to build up on Tarnished themselves. So for this next part, we're just gonna drop down, follow that little path down, and do this little pocket area right here that's neatly tucked away for many reasons. One, it's gonna be some items. Two, we have a scarab there. And three, it's a nice little segue of venturing into the next part we are about to cover. So, very convenient in that way. And you see a lot of bats hanging from the ceiling. You know the drill. Like, you can actually go and kill them all at once if you're feeling bold. But I am gonna show you the safer way to do it. You know, just in case. This bat is gonna take a sweet time coming to me, but okay, he's here. Come on. That's a grab attack. No, we're not shielding that. Okay. You guys. I'm actually gonna just let them... what? Okay, they don't seem to care. Oh no, we have a problem. The scarab is running away. We gotta get the scarab fast. Oh my god. Oh, we pulled the scarab, which is super unfortunate. Oh, okay, nice. And we get the lightning strike. Okay. Let's deal with the bats first. There should be one more. There should be... there we go. Stop nibbling me. Thank you. That should be all of them. Nice. Okay, so yeah, be careful not to run too forward because you're gonna pull the scarab, and the scarab is neatly placed in the middle of a lightning field and in the middle of the bat hangout spots. So this is what our good Sir Miyazaki had planned for us. You want to see the scarab, you want to see the shiny, and say, oh my god, I'm gonna go pick it up. And then all of a sudden you get an armada of bats nibbling at you. Let's deal with this bat, because I don't want to deal with combat. I want to be able to mount and all that good stuff. Maybe you want to open the map. Are you done, sir? There you go. Okay, so before we continue, I just want to take a moment to show on the map where we are. So this area right here, this little tucked away hidden area right here is where we are. And over here is gonna be the Morne Tunnels, and that's actually where we're gonna be going next. So for this part, what you want to do is the following. You want to mount up on Torrent, and you want to aim for this pillar. If you... I don't want to refer to the messages. I want to avoid referring to messages as much as possible, just because they're kind of like a cheat code on where to go on hidden places. But pretty much at the message. But what I want to point out to you is this pillar right here. Where this pillar ends, I'll just show you with a telescope. So where this pillar ends, Torrent, move. Like right there. Where it meets with the stone, that's where you want to go. And you can actually... nah, that's probably not the best way. So the best way would be to go for this lower rock right here and jump into it. You can even double jump just to make sure that you reach this little crevice area right here. And from there, you can just aim any of the rocks below. You should be more than fine and not take any damage. And here we are, the Morne Tunnels. Let's go ahead and take a look. So, as with every tunnels, always check the sides. Like you saw, we have some alternate ways of reaching the bottom of the mine, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna switch to my torch here just for a bit more visibility. So nothing here. And we get a smithing stone here. Oh, gimme. Nice. Like you can see people failing their attempts to reach the bottom of the mine. I was many of those bloodstains as well. And it's always funny how it's super easy to get to just make one wrong step and just bludgeon into your death right there. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick up the grace. We're good on flasks, we're good on everything. So let's just keep moving. So we're gonna do our thing. We're gonna summon the summoning pool. Since these are the tunnels, I would definitely recommend using a strike weapon. I am gonna refer to the big bump here. No, I was wrong actually. I mean, it is a tunnel, and there are gonna be hard-scaled enemies, but not before the Misbegotten enemies. So I would recommend having the sword first, and when you get down there, that's where you gonna find a lot of them. So for this part right here, you have that guy sleeping and you have that guy patrolling. So you can do two things. You can like wait for him to go. Oh, we actually pulled him. Oh, even better. Nice. So generally I would recommend playing it safe and dealing with them one at a time. By the way, I think you can sneak next to this guy. Like, this guy is a super light sleeper. Yep. So I would recommend just getting across the beam as soon as possible, because fighting near the edge of the beam is like just something I definitely would not recommend. So the guy that was patrolling, he would come from this little area right here and then move back. But since he saw us and attacked us, we kind of got lucky there. So before we continue, we should probably go ahead and check out this part here. And we have our first miner right here. So you know what to do. Strike is the way to go. And I do got a two-handed because I don't have enough strength on this character. So in order to make it effective, I actually got a two-handed. So we get the explosive stone from them. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick. It should be a usable item, should be here. Yep, there we go. A small stone with a smoldering core. Explodes when thrown at enemies, inflicting fire damage. Miners employ these stones as tools for rock blasting, but have long forgotten how to craft them. So that's kind of cool. Like similar as you have with dynamite in the mines, they're using these explosive stones in a similar manner. So before continuing, I would definitely recommend one thing. You see a lot of enemies down there, right? So I would definitely recommend using either flame pots, or in this case, if we have flame sling, and thinning out the numbers, because once we get down there it can get pretty hectic. So I would definitely recommend using like flame pots or something similar just to thin out the numbers. And this guy, since he's moving, we are definitely not gonna be able to hit him. Like, he's gonna be dodging all of our attacks. So for the time being, we're just gonna let him fly and do his thing, and we're gonna deal with him once we get down there. So we have a couple of Misbegotten here as well, so I would recommend switching to another weapon if you have. Like, I'll just actually stick with the bonk all the time. Like, if I dodge, I won't need the shield. Famous last words, right? Exactly, famous last words indeed. So, since this is a big chungus of a club, it does burn through their poise super fast. And we get the Old Fang. We're gonna go ahead and take a look as soon as we verify that the coast is clear. Nice. Old Fang. This is also a crafting item. A rarely seen specimen of a beast fang, material used for crafting items, found by hunting carnivorous beasts. These multiple overlapping fangs grow from a single root. Perhaps they're a vestige of the primordial crucible. So, primordial crucible in this game are creatures referred to as first creatures that inhabited the lands between. It's sort of like an evolution thing, like for example, how humans evolved from different versions of apes, so to say. I mean, I am grossly oversimplifying it, and people are like grasping their heads, like what the fuck is this guy saying? But I'm kind of shortening it, trying to shorten it, so I can get to the point. So this is the same thing here. There are some creatures that evolve from certain species. They would be referred to as the primordial crucibles in this game. So with that out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and let's just go right first, I think. No, let's go left. I think the left side is gonna be a dead end first. So we get the stenching boluses. We should also take a look at that real quick before we continue. So similar as neutralizing boluses with alleviating poison, these alleviate impending blood loss. Blood loss escalates gradually, causing great damage once the threshold is reached. Take one of these in timely fashion to avoid such an event. Okay, nice, I was right. This is dead end. So here you have a couple of miners chilling. I would recommend sneaking and dealing with the guy inside first, the guy that is vibing. So one charge attack I think should be more than enough. And try to make your way outside for this exact reason. The wind up, oh my god. Because they're gonna start cornering you, and if you're cornered inside the little shack, like, you're not gonna have a lot of room to maneuver, and it's gonna be suboptimal for you to deal with them. And I think that's gonna be it for these enemies. I think there's gonna be one more being depressed. Yep, there he is. I mean, he either looks depressed or he looks like he's taking a break. Like, since I'm an optimist myself, I would like to think that he's just taking a break from his hard work. And you have this dead end area right here. With that dead end area out of the way, we can now head where we wanted to go in the first place. Over here. And this way we're actually going to reach the bottom layer of the mines, the ones we saw from up there, the rafters. So that guy is still aggroed. So let's actually take a moment, like you would usually on our character. If you're following our character, you would use the fire pots, but I am abusing the opportunity we have to play this character with the incantations, so I'm actually going to use the flame sling. And we should have 1, 2, 3 miners, and there it is, 1 Misbegotten. I would like to deal with the Misbegotten first, because these miners that are mining, they're actually minding their own business. They don't care about anything that's happening around them. So clearing the Misbegotten first is always a good idea in these situations. So, with Misbegotten out of the way, the rest is just cleanup. Oh, I've missed one. I misbegot the one. Never mind. Oh, just forget I said anything. Just heal up. And we get the arterial leaf here, which is always super nice. And there's one more miner left. Okay, let's see, this is the boss area. So we're gonna head there last. We're gonna first check out this little hidden area right here to see if we have some goodies for us. And we do. The soft cotton. Yep, the soft cotton. So let's take a look real quick. This is an interesting item to have. Okay, there we go. A soft but sturdy cotton formed from splitting open rova fruit in a particular manner. Craftable item. Attaching this cotton to the bottom of one's feet allows a temporary reduction in fall damage and sound. It also reduces the sound of one's footsteps. If you must court danger, at the very least, tread lightly. So this, like the item description says, this indeed reduces fall damage, and if you hear like the footsteps, if you use soft cotton, you would not hear anything. There is actually an equipment set in the game that does the same thing for you. Like your footsteps are not heard at all. The only sound you make is when you actually swing your weapon. Like jumping, rolling, sprinting, nothing can be heard, which is pretty cool. Okay, so for this part, we have the boss here. So I'm actually gonna keep the bunk. Not because the enemy ahead is requiring strike damage, but just because I like the bunk and I like the weapon art, like the Ash of War on it. I am, however, gonna remove the fire pot and the darts because we're not gonna be needing them. Let's see, we got this. Okay, nice. So we get the Misbegotten Chief here. I think his name is, I'm not sure. Scaly, Misbegotten Warrior, or something like that. Let us see. Scaly Misbegotten. So this is a much bigger version of the regular Misbegottens. He has a lot more poise, does much more damage, and is generally more dangerous foe. But since we have the bonk, we will make short work of him. So what I did there, the weapon art Barbaric Roar. Oh my god, can we not die? Awesome. So what I did there, the Barbaric Roar, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that weapon art as well. And we're gonna take a look at the anchor we got. So Barbaric Roar. Let loose a bestial roar to rally the spirit and increase attack power. While active, strong attacks change to savage combo attacks. And the Rusted Anchor. A rusty anchor wielded as a weapon. Each of its 4 flukes is thick and sharp, enabling piercing attacks. When the Tarnished left the lands between with their lord, one boat alone was said to have been left behind. So this is classified as a great tax, but because it has these flukes, it does pierce damage, so that's very cool. If you are going with a strength build and you need a pierce weapon, you don't have to wait for like a spear or a great spear or something like that. Like this Rusted Anchor you get pretty early in the game, and you can use it right away as pierce damage for heavily armored targets. And what I wanted to show you for the Barbaric Roar, if you chain this is all heavy attacks. This is a chain of heavy attacks, and it's very cool. Like, look at this. So many hits in such a short amount of time. And those are all heavy attacks with increased attack power. Like, that's something to behold. Like, that's one of the reasons I very much like this Ash of War. Especially if we're going on some kind of a strength build. But yeah, with Morne Tunnels out of the way, we are clear to proceed. Awesome. Let's just actually, I'm not gonna rest here for one reason. We are gonna be finding a grace very soon, so I'll be resting at that. Let me just refill my mana. And let's carry on. So for this next part, we jumped down from the little pocket area with a bunch of bats. For this area right here, you have a couple of bats hanging from there, and you have a bunch of flowers spitting poison spores. So just make sure to keep moving, don't stay in one spot. I went here because I want to claim this owl real quick. I believe you can make this jump, yep. Like, you can make this jump and you're gonna be pretty much at a dead end here, but Trina's Lily is always worth it, so I would recommend taking the jump. And I'm just gonna jump down here. I'm just gonna keep picking up items and running. There's gonna be one item in the flower somewhere. We're gonna go ahead and take a look. I'm not gonna be taking the Spirit Spring at the moment. It's gonna take us up further. And we're not ready to go there yet because we haven't cleared this area right here. So that's the only item that you can pick up there, the golden rune. Besides that, that's pretty much it. So since this is like a large open area, what I generally recommend is taking the sides first and clearing it in that way. So you have a couple of Misbegottens, and as you can see, their eyes are glowing red, so I think this, yeah, I mean, it's Eve, you can see it's pretty dark, so they are pretty feral. So if we were to summon our demi-human ashes now, they would be feral as well, which is super cool. So let's take the right hand side first. I'm just going to pick up this earth leaf flower. For two reasons. One, we are going to be clearing this much easier. I want to see if that's an enemy. Okay, that's an animal. And the second reason is this grace right here. So we're going to take this grace and let's rest while we're at it, just to refill our flasks. We actually can, I forgot, we actually can upgrade our flask strength with the sacred tier. So let's go ahead and do that. And unlike the amount of flasks and golden seeds, like, you always need one sacred tier, I believe, to upgrade your flask strength. So for this next part, we got dogs, we got Trina's Lily. Stay away, Pooch. Are you done? Like, are you done? This is like a cuter version of dogs. No, like a non-cute version of dogs chasing their tails. Damn dogs chasing their tails. There should be one more. Yep, there it is. And he should give us our flask back. And in the distance, you might see a familiar sight. Are you done? And you would be right. That area right there is the beginning of Whipping Peninsula. That's where the merchant is. That's where the hole in the wall is. So we could have reached this area another way, but instead what we did, could have just went backwards here and went there. But what we did is we took care of this entire area first, and now we're gonna do this area right here. I always find it easier to do it like that when clearing this area. I don't know why. I guess it could be even a force of habit, so to say. I'm not dealing with you, mosquitoes. So for this next part, I would recommend dashing through on torrent to that tower over there, the one that you can see right here, because there's gonna be a ballista guy, and he's gonna give you unnecessary amounts of trouble if you take your time down there. So go inside, climb to the top, and deal with the ballista guy first, so you can have some peace and quiet while you deal with the rest. And interestingly enough, he is first targeting the demi-humans. Can I not pull him? Okay, awesome. Let's see if, like, you see there, that's an encampment of demi-humans. Let's see if we can. Yeah, so he's shooting at the demi-humans and they're cowering in fear. So, like, the Godric soldiers versus the demi-humans war add action here as well. It's also something very cool. And they're actually gonna remain in that position. So let's go ahead and take a look. The hand ballista. I'm actually gonna do it from here. It's much easier. An unconventional ballistic device modeled on a weapon used to besiege castles, only capable of firing great bolts. Perfect for reckless acts such as storming a castle or facing an entire enemy alone. Like the description says, like, this ballista is kind of broken. It scales with strength. It requires 30 strength to use, and it only uses great bolts, which by themselves deal a lot of damage, right? And it's a very satisfying ballista, like ballista range weapon, whatever. It's a very satisfying weapon to use. You can one-shot regular enemies. You can two-shot like one of those knights that you saw in Stormgate Ruins, like two or three shots of the ballista bolt, and they're like gone. They're dead. And generally, it's a very satisfying weapon to use. At least I felt like it in my adventures previously. And yeah, it requires if you have 20 strength, you can use it. I'm saying this because by default you gotta equip it in both hands to use it. So maxing out 30 strength just so you can carry it in one arm is kind of pointless, because you're never going to be able to shoot it with one arm. It's just how the weapon was designed, right? So as soon as you reach 20 strength and you want to give this a try, I would definitely recommend. That is a whole lot of fun and devastation. Okay. So in front of us we have the bridge from which we came. So we are circling up the area very nice, and we are kind of connecting our exploration. Pretty nice. That's something I love about this game, like the way the areas are connected. It's very amazing to me. And the way you can see like 1/3 of the game, and I'm not saying that because the visibility is slow. Sorry. I'm not saying that visibility is short or small. I'm saying that the game is massive, and you can see 1/3 of the game area at almost any point in time, right? So okay, let me just take a look real quick. So we did this at the tower, Forest Lookout Tower. We cleared out this area. We connected here. Let's see what else. So I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, so since this is kind of the approximate area that I ended on with my default character for this playthrough, I'm actually gonna end this episode right here, because this is where we finished off with that character, and I don't want to start anything new here and then having to repeat it on that character. So I am gonna actually end the episode here. Next in line for us is definitely gonna be like this little patch of woods right here, and then we're gonna venture forward, clearing out the middle and the western part of the Weeping Peninsula, and it's gonna be super fun. We are very, very close. Like next episode we're gonna be using spells, so that should be super fun. Let me just double check to make sure I didn't miss anything. So we did the Morne Tunnels, we did the flower area and the bed area here, we cleared out the Ailing Village. Okay, We picked up the golden seed here. The gray's here. We cleared this area here. Okay, that's pretty much it. Awesome. Okay, so with that in mind, thank you guys for joining me on another episode of our full Elden Ring walkthrough. Once again, I apologize for the inconvenience of doing this on 2 different characters and kind of swapping it up like this. I had to take care of, I have to transfer some things on my PC, sorry, not PC, PS4, and I ended up, I thought I saved the videos on the PS4, but PS4 storage, but turns out they got deleted by accident. So that was my bad. I do apologize, but we are going to be returning to our usual selves starting next episode, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and the Mad Pumpkin bids you goodbye.